Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I am going to discuss about collection of urine specimen. So mainly we are having three types of collection of urine specimen. First method is method of collecting midstream urine. So in this method we supposed to ask the client to clean the genital area with soap and water, then rinse with plain water. In the female client, the labia are separated for cleaning and kept separated until the urine had been collected. After cleaning the genital area, we have to ask the patient to begin to wade into the toilet, commode or bedpan. At first, this amount of urine the patient has to pass into the toilet, commode or bedpan. Then the client has to stop the passing of urine, then take the sterile container and kept it in the proper position, and then it has to containing to wide into the container. When enough urine has been collected for specimen, the client stop the passing urine and the container has to be removed. After that we have to close the lid of the container, and for unconscious patient, catheterization should be necessary before collecting midstream urine. Second method is method of collecting 24 hours urine specimen. 24 hours urine specimen means to collect all the urine voided in 24 hours. The collection of urine begins at 6 am. At first, ask the client to void at 6 am and discard the whole urine. All the subsequent voiding should be measured and collected in the bottle, which is labeled. Then continue to collect till next day and add it to the urine previously collected. It is necessary to add preservatives to the urine to prevent decomposition and multiplication of bacteria. A variety of preservatives are available, such as boric acid, hydrochloric acid, formalin, chloroform, etc. And our third method is urine collection from the catheter. Here clamp tubings from about 15 to 30 minutes before obtaining sample. Then wash hands thoroughly, disconnect bladder drainage tubing, cover distal end of drainage tube, sterile gauze till the procedure ends. Release clamp and collect urine in catheter. Remove gauze and discard in K basin. Reconnect the tubing and wear gloves while handling the urine. Next characteristic of normal urine. First is volume. 1000 to 2000 ml of urine is excreted in 24 hours. The urine output depends upon the water intake. In cold weather it is increased and in hot weather it is decreased. Second is color. The normal urine is pale yellowish in color. Next, appearance. The normal urine is clear with no deposit. Next, odor means smell. The normal urine has an aromatic odor. Reaction. The reaction of the normal urine is slightly acidic. Specific gravity. The specific gravity of urine varies from 1.016 to 1.025. Next, constitutes of urine. In the normal urine, water 96%, urea 2%, and the remaining 2% consist of uric acid, phosphate, sulfate, etc. Next, move on characteristic of abnormal urine. First is volume. Abnormal increase in the volume is known as polyuria, and it is found in diabetes mellitus. Decreased quantity of urine is called oliguria, and it is found in heart disease. Total absence or remarked decrease of urine is known as anuria. Failure of the kidney to secrete urine is known as suppression. Next, odor. Sweetish or fruity odor is due to the presence of ketone bodies seen in diabetic client. Next, appearance. We all know that the normal urine appearance is clear. So here the urine appearance is cloudy. Next reaction. Reaction of the urine may be alkaline. Specific gravity. In disease, the specific gravity may range from 1.001 to 1.060. Constituents of urine. Albumin is present when there is kidney damage. Presence of albumin in the urine is termed as albuminuria. Sugar in the urine indicate diabetes mellitus. Next is types of examination from the urine. We have three examination. First is physical examination, second is chemical examination, and third is microscopic examination. So in physical examination, we supposed to check color, appearance, volume, reaction, odor, specific gravity of the urine. In chemical examination, routine tests such as tests to albumin and sugar, special tests such as Bailey pigment, Bailey salts, etc. And third is microscopic examination. Here we supposed to check crystals, pus cells, cast epithelial cells, RBC, bacteria, etc. Under physical examination, we have urine analysis. First is color. At first, take a clean glass jar and pour urine into it and place it on a table against light. Note the color. Next, appearance. After noting the color, inspect the whole urine. From the presence of sediment of suspended particles, normal urine is clear. Next, odor. As you collect urine from analysis, you will be getting the odor of urine. Normal urine has an aromatic odor. Next, reaction. To test the urine for reaction, dip one end of a litmus paper into the urine. If the urine is acidic, blue litmus paper turns into red. If the urine is alkaline, the red litmus paper is changed into blue. No change in both litmus paper indicates that neutral reaction. Next, specimen orality. Allow a urinometer to heat in the urine freely. Read the specific gravity of the eye level. To prevent error in reading, take the lower meniscus. Volume. Take a graduated jar and measure the urine. For accuracy, take the lower meniscus. In chemical examination, we have two tests. First is test for albumin and second is test for sugar. Under test of albumin, we have two tests. First is hot test and second is cold test. In hot test, fill 3/4 of the test tube with filled urine. See that the reaction of the urine is acidic. Heat the upper third of urine over the spirit lamp and allow it to boil. Keep the mouth of the test tube away from your face to prevent searing. A cloud may occur either due to phosphate of albumin. Add acetic acid drop by drop into the test tube. If the urine still remains cloudy, it indicates that the presence of albumin. If it becomes clear, it indicates that the presence of phosphate. Then discard the whole urine and clear the test tube. No albumin is present in the normal urine. In cold test, pour a small quantity of nitric acid 3% into a clean test tube. Allow equal quantity of urine to trickle down the sides of the test tube. If albumin is present, a white precipitate will be seen where two fluids meet. Then discard the urine and clean the test tube. Next, test for sugar. Here we have so many tests. First is Benedict's test. At first, take 5 ml of Benedict's solution in a test tube. Then boil it over the spirit lamp, holding the test tube away from your face. Then add a drops of urine into the test tube and shake well. Boil, if again remove the test tube and allow it to cool. The result may be recorded according to the color blue, green, yellow, orange and red. Then discard the urine and clean the test tube. Next, reagent strip test. Glucose oxidase tests procedure color changes when patches of reagent are implanted. They react with glucose in the client's urine. Procedure. Explain the procedure to the client. Ask the client to void. If possible, collect or second specimen after 40 to 45 minutes. Client can have a glass of water. Next, clinicistics strip. Here dip the reagent end of the spirit into the urine for 2 seconds. Then remove the excess urine, wait for a second and then compare the color of the strip with that of the color chart on the test strip containers. Then document the result. Any color change that occurs after 10 seconds should be ignored. Next, diastics strip. Here dip the reagent end of the strip into the urine for 2 seconds. Then tap off the excess urine. Wait for 30 seconds and then compare the strip color with the color chart on the test strip container. Ignore the color changes that occurs after 30 seconds and document the result. And last we have test tape strip. Pull about 1.5 inch of the reagent strip from the dispenser and dip one end about 0.25 inch into the specimen for 2 seconds. Then tape off the excess urine, wait for 60 seconds and then compare the darkest portion of tap with the color chart on the dispenser and document the result.